Hey everybody, welcome to Kimmel's Irish Pub. Time for another movie review. Tonight's movie, Never Let Go. Halle Berry is the only name I recognize in it, and there was something that I saw like on some post that like Halle Berry's new scary horror film or whatever it is, it was a positive message. I don't know what they said, so I was like, awesome. A family that has been haunted by an evil spirit for years. Their safety and their surroundings come into question when one of the children questions if the evil is real. Alright. 5.5 on IMDb, but it fits the Halloween theme, I believe. Horror, thriller. Only 7,302 people rated it so far. Like I said, just Halle Berry, and it's an hour and 41 minutes long and on Amazon Prime. So let's check it out, see if it's worth watching as you lead into Halloween. Stick around. I'll be back. Hey everybody, we're at the credits of Never Let Go, and kind of understand what that means now by watching the movie, and let's get into it a little bit more. So it is kind of right what they say. This family of three, Halle Berry and her two sons, live in the woods in this house, where they've kind of lived their entire life. And as the story unfolds, Halle Berry is telling her sons that there's evil all around, not only the home, but everywhere. Like, they're the only people left that aren't evil. And the reason they're okay is because I believe it was her grandfather built this house out of some special kind of wood that protects them. So as long as they're in the house, they're fine. And if they're connected to the house. So what they do is they have these ropes that allow them to go out in the woods and hunt. And, for food and stuff like that, and do whatever they need to do outside, even play, but they have to have the rope on. So that's where Never Let Go comes from. If you let go of the rope, and the evil gets to you, they'll touch you, and then you become consumed by the evil, and then you'll go back and kill your family or stuff like that, right? So Never Let Go, that's the whole premise of the movie, and the three of them are there. Now, as the little boys are, growing, I guess, or whatever, interacting, one of them starts to question, is this true or not? Or is she just crazy? Or is she just trying to keep them from the rest of the world? Whatever. So they have that, and they're playing it all through, like the backstory on how, not an in-depth backstory of how the three of them came to be, but it does give you some insight onto why they are alone. And so they're that's the whole thing, right? And and they also have a dog. I'll throw that out there. So, it really, it kind of, I think, is very, very interesting. I like the plot line. And I like the way the story was told. I didn't even say, I'm trying to be more mindful of these directors, as I say. And the director for this was Alexandre Aja, A-J-A, who, Crawl, okay, P2, I don't remember what P2, I think, okay. The Hills Have Eyes, okay. Some other older movies, but like Crawl was a good one, very intense, that I remember. So, don't know too much more about this director, but there are some movies. I thought Crawl was very interesting. So, this was pretty good. Kept me interested throughout. And again, I think that the story's told in a way that keeps you engaged. And there's really only three of them. There's small parts from other people, but I think Halle Berry's Halle Berry. We all like her. I thought she does a good job in this role. She plays it really well because you're left to decide, is she really trying to protect her family, or is she just crazy? And she dances that line as Halle Berry can. Then the other two kids in it I thought were really good. The one, let me get his name because okay, Nolan. Percy Daggs the fourth. I liked him. He's one of the brothers, and then Samuel. So like Percy, or Nolan, who was played by Percy, he and Samuel was played by Anthony B. Jenkins. I assume Nolan's younger, seems younger. Samuel seems to be older and guiding, whereas Nolan is the one who's guessing everything, whereas Samuel's more believing in his mom. And I thought, the bottom line, I loved Nolan's acting of Percy Daggs the fourth. I thought he was really good. Both of them were just acting as kids for most of it, but then, you get a little bit more out of them as the movie goes on, and I thought they did a good job. So, And then other than that, I can't really tell you anything other than the film. You know, the things about the film. I think there were certain parts that, I don't know, I think could have been visually better. And I won't go into great detail. You'll have to see what I mean. I think that piece, because I think it leaves you a little bit, you know. And I'm going to go into spoilers because I can't continue to talk in riddles. Not yet, though. And I think the other mixed emotion has to be the ending, right? So you're all like, okay, how does it end, right? And so, I don't know, a lot of times you're thinking to yourself, I want like a nice clear cut, what's going on? And not every time is that going to be the happening. So, I don't know. So there you go. I liked it, and I did like the ending somewhat. I'm not so mad at it, but I think other people might be a little disappointed, and maybe that's why the ratings are low. I don't know. So that's what I got for you. If you like horror thriller, if you're looking for something new, you want to see some good acting from some kids, and you have the premise, go ahead and check it out. I am going to talk a little bit more openly and compare it to another movie. And I didn't want to do that here if you didn't see it, because I think this will kind of, I don't know. But so if you haven't seen it yet and you don't want to learn more about it, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. If you want to hear a little bit more without spoiling the ending, stick around. Alright, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. Again, I'm not going to ruin the ending, but I am going to talk a little bit about the movie that it reminded me of, M. Night Shyamalan, The Village. Right? I don't know. It's very, I see a lot of parallels between the two of them. And I like The Village and what they did there. And I think that was like, M. Night Shyamalan was one of his first pops, you know. So it's got that feel to it, at least in my opinion. So that made me like it. Like I said, everything else prior to this I liked about it. Then the ending, I won't say it's controversial, but it's going to have people like love it or hate it, or just be, I don't know. I think they're going to love it or hate it, and that's part of it. So the piece that I referenced earlier, I also want to mention the visualization. You know, like, I don't know if it's an alien or reptilian type, you know, figure that they end up utilizing for, you know, pretty much the final scene. The dramatic, no, maybe not even, I don't know if it's a dramatic, you know what I mean. If you've seen it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I was like, you know, I don't know what she had to do with that, and, you know, like why he had to tackle her into there. Like, that whole piece, and then holding on, and then it looks like an alien or a reptilian. I don't know. I think you leave that out. If anything, maybe you tackle your brother into there, and they both come out. That makes it a little bit more. But even if they don't, I like the surprise to see that. But I don't think, you know, bringing her back and having her try and draw him in. Love that piece. Why do that? What does that do? Does it make him believe maybe he changed fate? I don't know. So that was the only I don't know, misstep, I think, in everything else. Besides the ending. You know, the ending is what they did, and I appreciate the writers and their directors for doing what they did. So there you go. A little bit longer of a review or commentary about this movie, but check it out. I think it's worth the watch, even if you are upset at the end of it. It's a fun ride. Alright, hopefully that was helpful. Thanks for tuning in. Kimmel's Irish Pub.